Greetings, everyone. How is everybody tonight? It is Monday, May 4th. I wonder if it's a special night. Yeah. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you all. With a buttery Chardonnay. Welcome to Wine with Dave. I'm Dave England, and this is Wine with Dave, where I bring the Dave and you bring the wine. That's the worst tagline ever, but it fits for now. It really does fit for now. What do we got? What do we got here? Let's do this thing right here. Steve Wolf, 30 years ago today, Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. You and I played Rocky Point with Rick Greenwood, Sweeney, and Neville. Oh, 30 years. Wow, how time has passed. And John Massewer. Bill Parmentier, yo. Bill's in the house. Thanks for showing up, Bill. Bill, I got to get you on. You got to text me, inbox me. I want to promote the main Parmentier, and I have never pronounced your name wrong, my friend. So I'm not one of those Pomeranian people who refuse to just learn it. And it's not difficult. It's just Parmentier. Parmentier. It's easy. So what do we got? What do we got today? Let me unlock this scene so I can show you. It's wine o'clock. Everyone knows it's wine o'clock. It's going to be wine o'clock for the next 59 minutes. So hang on there. Hey, and Friday night I had a heck of a time. Everyone could comment, but they weren't showing up on the screen. I found out why. Check it out. Ecamm brings in the feed. Had nothing to do with Skype, nothing to do with Ecamm. Had to do with nasty old Facebook. Facebook introduced a new emoji. The little I care emoji, the little like heart that's pumping in the hands. The very first person who turned on to watch the live, like literally at 9 o'clock, they clicked on the wrong heart. They were going to just do heart, like I love the show, which I appreciate them, but they clicked on the new emoji, heart with care. It got sent to Ecamm, and Ecamm said, oh, foreign object, what is that? What is that? Shut her down. And it shut it down. So no comments. What was that about? Why am I playing music again? Uh-oh, we going to have one of those nights? Maybe not. Anyway, let's get on with this. Let me take this. We're probably going to have a crazy night because I had to upgrade to fix that issue there. So anyway, what do we got? How y'all doing? Says Aaron Usher. Aaron's in the house. You look sleepy on your profile pic. That's cool. Ron. Awesome. Got a bunch of people watching. Hey, let's get into the next thing because I've got a lot to cover tonight. And tonight is wicked special. World premiere of Dave Stebbins' stop motion animated teaser video, Star Wars: The Cantina Band, behind the music. It's awesome. I saw it. I'm one of the first to see it, but you guys are going to see it exclusively here on Wine with Dave. So check it out. Okay, so click on comments, leave a comment, tell me where you're from, and share. Click on the share button. That's really good. Who do we have? Courtney Bertrand. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Courtney. I know you're a Star Wars fan. Hang in there. Do not leave. This is going to be a really good show. Got a great guest. Lots of fun. I'm going to make you laugh. Okay? It's wine o'clock. The featured text that I had in the bottom, which I could show you right here, is this thing. If you have an announcement, anything with your business, anything you're doing, even, hey, I just landed the biggest client I ever had, and I can't believe it's COVID-19, and I'm working with these guys. Tell me before 8:30. Just text me at the number right there. See? Right there. 345-9036. And I will put it in the ticker tape. I'm trying to promote people. What else am I going to do? I'm just sitting here eating burnt pizza that I made tonight and just trying to promote y'all. All right, the next segment is interactive. So I'm going to turn off this because it is annoying. One person said, yeah, it's kind of annoying, Dave. One person, but no one else did. Are you ready? This is the segment that I like to call
Joanne England.
Did You Know? As my wife calls. My wife wants to talk to me. Did you know? My wife was the last person to call me. All right, here we go. Did you know? The average human brain contains 78% water. So you really are only using 22% of your brain. The most commonly forgotten item for travelers is the toothbrush. Did you know? Did you know the most sensitive finger is your index finger? I bet you're touching it right now. I bet you're touching it right now. All right, here we go. Interactive. Leave a comment. The movie Wayne's World was filmed in how many weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Or 5 weeks? Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Sal says he's coming in from Tatooine. Good. Sal says mine cries at the drop of a hat. Bill Palmentier says 3 weeks. Anybody else? Any takers? Movie Wayne's World was filmed in how many weeks? I'm going to keep going. I'll go back to this. A group of frogs is called an army. A group of rhinos is called what? What do you call a group of rhinos chasing you? First of all, you're not going to be thinking of it at that moment. You're going to be running, screaming like a little 12-year-old girl. But they are called something, and you should know that. Sal says 2 weeks. Wayne's World. All right. The next interactive was, what's a group of rhinos called? A group of winos. What's a group of winos called? Answer, a group of winos. Cue the wine. A group of kangaroos is called a mob. Hey, I know no one's commenting because you're probably going to Mr. Google. Don't do that. Just guess. It's cool to guess. A group of kangaroos is called a mob. A group of owls, however, is called what? What do you call a group of owls? Does anyone know? Who knows? 96% of candles sold are purchased by women. All right. Bill Palmentier, noisy. What do you call a group of rhinos? Noisy. Sal says a group of winos is called Wine with Dave viewers. I will leave that there because you won the best comment of the night. A group of owls is called what? 96% of candles sold are purchased by women. White cats with blue eyes are usually deaf. Did you know that? Yep, white cats with blue eyes are usually deaf. The film Mary Poppins was filmed entirely indoors. Did you know? Here's my last interactive one. Come on, people. All the clocks in the movie Pulp Fiction are fixed to what time? Every clock in Pulp Fiction is set to what time? All right, let me go over the interactive. The movie Wayne's World was filmed in how many weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Or 5 weeks? The only people who voted was Bill Palmentier, 3 weeks, and Sal says 2 weeks. And do we have a winner? We have a winner, Mr. Sal Socco from East Greenwich, Rhode Island. They filmed Wayne's World in 2 weeks. Holy crap! I could barely get content for a website in 2 weeks. They filmed a dang movie. Nice, Sal. You win something. I don't know what you win. A spare camera battery. What's next? The rhino. A group of rhinos is called a crash. They call it a crash of rhinos. A group of owls is called what? A parliament. It is a parliament of owls. I love that. That's a great name for a band. They should all wear black suits and skinny ties and just play punk music. We are the Parliament of Owls. How cool is that? Come on, Steve Mason. You and I, pick up a bass. Let's be in the Parliament of Owls. Courtney Bertrand, wine o'clock. Yes, that's right, wine o'clock. Where are we at? Okay, all of the clocks in the movie Pulp Fiction are fixed to what time? And we have two winners. Bill Palmentier, it's set to 4:20. Steve Wolf, 4:20. Does anyone know what for? Oh, I get it. Courtney Bertrand, you are funny, girl. I thought you were just saying it's wine o'clock. You're saying in Pulp Fiction, all the clocks were set to wine o'clock. That's funny. You are in the running to being the best comment. So you and Sal might beat it out in the end. But yes, it was set to 4:20. Now, does anyone know what 4:20 means? This isn't a did you know because that's too easy. Does anyone know what a 4:20 is and why the significance of a 4:20? And who started it? That'd be interesting. Steve Wolf says 4:20 is a blunt answer. It's a blunt answer. You, my friend, are high. Where'd you learn that answer? At high school? Anyway, here we go. We're moving on. Oh, I forgot three more. Instant coffee was invented in 1901. Pearls melt in vinegar. And there is no butter in buttermilk. I forgot those three. 420 is legal now, says Rick Greenwood. How would you know, dude? Come on, girlfriend, pass it. Today, folks, this is really good. I am so excited about what I'm about to release to you people. You are going to be so happy you're going to fart rainbows. I'm serious. You're going to love this. It's National Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. That's a wrong symbol to show. May the 4th be with you each year on National Star Wars Day. Thousands of Star Wars enthusiasts celebrate this day each year with parties and celebrations around the nation. But it's only virtual this year. Can't meet in crowds. Star Wars fans didn't first introduce the often quoted phrase on May 4th. Did you know who did? Did you know who coined the phrase, May the 4th, F-O-U-R-T-H, be with you? You will be blown away when you find out. Do you know who did? Well, in 1979, Britain elected the first female Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, on May 4th. The day she took office, the Conservative Party placed an advertisement in the London Evening News which read, May the 4th be with you, Maggie, congratulations. It was the Conservative Party put an ad up. Because in 79, it was only, 3 years after Star Wars? The hype was already crazy. Yes, they started it. That was cool, huh? Listen, guys, are you ready for something awesome? In honor of May the 4th be with you, and there's the little graphic, see, boom, boom, boom. I come with graphics. I come bearing wine and graphics. Or I could say, I come bearing gifts, because it's actually a GIF. It's a GIF. And by the way, it's pronounced GIF, not GIF, because the G of the GIF is the word graphic. So obviously it's GIF. So let's end the mystery. Shut it down. It's called a GIF. It's not a GIF. But I come bearing gifts. There it is. May the 4th be with you. Are you guys ready? This is so cool. Dave Stebbin was a guest on the show. He was actually my very first guest, I believe. He is a stop motion animator. Uber cool. Uber talented. And patient, too. He probably has more patience than talent because he's really talented. But you got to have a whole lot of patience to be like, move it like that. Snap, move, snap, move, snap. Oh, my gosh. God love you. May the force be with you. He owns Chicken Coop Productions. He's got a YouTube channel. He was on the show. He gave us a little tour of his little studio. Go back to one of the episodes and you can look it up. And actually, let me tell you where it is. It is episode 5 on April 7th. Okay, episode 5. So here's the deal. I didn't tell him to do this, He was working on this all along. You know, behind the scene, behind the music, the VH1 behind the music. Well, he did one. He did one with the Star Wars Cantina Band behind the music. And I would be sitting down for this. I would be sitting down. Are you ready for this? This is the world premiere of the Star Wars Cantina Band behind the music.
They blew out of the dusty town of Mos Eisley with a bold new sound.
Alright,
By the turn of the centurion, they were known across the galaxy. For their volatile lead Jossima player, the struggle with stardom was fatal.
Iha ode bale hibi. I abere nola mahenes. He nola mani mora notes. Da modete ibede.
In time, the hits dried up. But the modal nodes found a way to survive. Now, for the first time, hear their story in their own words.
Mora no sadebare.
Figuring Dion and the modal nodes behind the music. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah! What do you think of that? Come on, leave a comment. Dave Stebbin comes through again. And that only took him like 12 minutes to make. Hey, what are we missing? We're missing my logo. We're missing my lower third. Where's my lower third? There's my lower third. They call that a lower third. You get to learn things on Wine with Dave. All right. That was great. Dave, thank you so much for letting us premiere it on Wine with Dave. Man, I feel so special. I get to premiere that. Leave some comments. You guys like that? That was cool. Steve Mason, effing A. Steve Wolf, nice. Isn't it? So go to YouTube and look up Chick and lowercase n Coop. Chick N Coop Productions. And please subscribe to his channel. Please, we're looking for 10 people to subscribe. 20 people maybe. I sound like Jerry Lewis. Can you just give $10? All right, here we go. Tomorrow night, my guest is Bill Simus. He's a real funny guy from Cyber SEAL Team. And Wednesday night, I have Ray Melanson, an inventor. He is the owner of Next Monitoring. But tonight, you are in for a photographic treat. Tighten up your lenses, folks. Steve Mason is here. He's a commercial photographer. He's a mood catcher. He's a shot chaser, a visual storyteller, and a guy that you definitely want to have a drink with. Check this out. Steve Mason, how are you, my friend?
I'm well, David. How are you? Good to be with you.
Yeah, may the force be with you, too. Apparently, you can't say, are you good? You got to say, well. So you speak good English, well English.
I do have a factoid for you that I know everybody's dying to know.
Yeah. And
So
what is
in
that?
1971, 5 high school students in San Rafael, California, used the term 420 in connection with a plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop based on a treasure map made by the grower. So they were going to find it at 420 in the afternoon. That's the
Really? That was
derivation
it?
of 420.
Oh, interesting. That is so cool. Listen, you're a commercial photographer. Let's get into this. And I met you. I met you outside of a hotel. I know it sounds seedy, but I met you outside of a hotel. It was an event, and you were just you had your portfolio, and I said, "Hey, what's your name?" Or you asked me. We just introduced each other and fast friends, real fast friends.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. Not with everybody, my friend, but with you, it
True.
was real easy. So describe the average day of a commercial photographer. Oh, hold on. I got some people. Emily Mason Partridge. Emily says, "Where's Steve?"
It should be, where's Dad?
That's your daughter.
Yeah.
Rick Greenwood says, "Sweet. He just watched the Star Wars film. You got to see that." Emily says, "Thanks, Dad." Oh, and she's going crazy. Who else's father is teaching them ABT 420? All right, what's
About
ABT?
420.
What's ABT?
About.
Oh, about. Okay, I don't understand this little. Rick Greenwood says 420 history. Interesting. Emily says woot woot. Yes, Emily. What? Who says woot woot? Parliament of Owls. Just saying. Describe the average day of a commercial photographer.
Well, it depends on the day because there is no average day. Every day is different. It depends whether I'm shooting. It depends whether I'm chasing business. It depends whether I'm finalizing business. So it's the best scenario is I'm out working one day or 2 days and then processing the next day, day and a half or so. But there's also a lot of meetings with clients. There's a lot of these days it's all Zoom, of course. Lots of Zoom meetings, telephone calls, following up with leads, talking to people about what may come, what we hopefully will come.
Mm-hmm. Have you had to put off? Have you had to put off any
where they're
assignments?
gonna be, how they're going to come back.
I'm sorry, we lost your feet a little bit.
Put off what?
Did you have to put off any assignments because maybe they were involving a lot of people?
Tons. 3/2, March 3rd, I started getting emails and everything I had, because I do a fair amount of events, and all those events obviously have mass quantities of people, and that just died. So there was events for CVS, it was for Millipore, Merck, it was events for General Dynamics, and some other smaller things, and they just fell off a cliff.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's going to affect, I think, a lot of us moving forward. I'm looking at, what are the businesses now that are working, that are busy, and a lot of that stuff is like the trades, construction, those kinds of things. And I've been pursuing that.
Yeah.
And some personal projects as well.
Yeah. So you said contractors. Contractors are really big. They're looking for you for commercial photography.
Well, if they're smart, they're looking at, how am I going to come out of this? What's my marketing plan? And they're talking to their web guy and starting to put together some sort of a strategy to come out of this strong, to be top of mind. So
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are, not a lot, but some I'm talking to are looking towards the future and trying to figure out some sort of a marketing plan. And of course, hopefully the visuals are part of that.
Yeah. Your stuff is amazing. I just got to say, and I tell you all the time.
Thank you.
You capture. It's like you capture, and that's why I put mood catcher and commercial photographer. You capture the mood because you can capture people like at a party or an event, but they're doing things. But you probably take enough photos, but you release the ones that show what's really happening. Like, are they really having a good time? Are they laughing? I mean, if you show a bunch that everyone's serious, then it's a serious event. But you really capture an event. It's I can't put it in words. I can put it in pictures. I can't put it in words.
that's not an accident either. I mean, I try to have a conversation with people who hire me as to what their expectations are with the pictures, where they're going, how they're going to be used. And if they're going to be used just internally for the company, then they're probably going to be used to just generate goodwill. So that's an aspect of it that I'll try to approach, camaraderie, those kinds of things. But also they might be internal usage after the event, but also the following year for the next event coming up, and used beforehand to try to garner more people to get involved and go to it. So things like that I try to find out beforehand to feed, my perspective as to how I'm going to approach photographing it.
So Bill Parmentier says definitely no average day as a commercial photog.
Nope,
and he says Steve is absolutely right. And also, Steve's Lever's lace images are amazing. So tell me about the book. You did a book on Lever's lace. Explain what that is. Yeah, there you go. Tilt it a little bit. There was a glare on it. Just tilt it slightly down. Yep, that is it's the side view of it. Let me see the pages.
Hold on,
there.
I'm going to take the wrapper off.
Oh, no, don't do that for me.
No, I'm going to do it anyway.
All right.
So Lever's lace is... In fact,
pizza break.
I spoke with the guy who runs it today. His name is York Roberts. He's a fourth-generation weaver. His great-great-grandfather came to America and started a lace company in Rhode Island. And then he was hired away in Long Island. And so the family grew up in Long Island, and York was hired to come back. Lever's Lace is the last lace manufacturing company in America. They make some of the best lace in the world, and they do it on machines from 1890 to 1910. 1910, there was a new tax put on the machines, and it made it harder for people to buy. So they just made do with what they had. I spoke with him today, and they're pretty much closed, and he doesn't see them coming back. So
wow.
That's really disheartening. I mean, he's basically in there packing up.
So as of 1910, they never updated any of their machines. They just worked, and they worked up to this day?
Yeah, it's amazing. The machines themselves, they were all made in and around Nottingham, England, and all the companies that made the machines went out of business in the early 1960s. So even a new machine would be from 1964, 63. But 1910, I think, is probably the newest machine they have there. And they still turned out some of the best lace in the world.
So you showed me, I mean, that book, you guys, you got to see the book. Maybe we could post some of the photos on, I wish I had asked you, like we could have posted some photos right here on the screen, but it is amazing. And some of the photos are like really gritty at these guys that are, I don't know, in their 70s or 60s, and they're rough. Their fingers are dirty and muscular and just like Popeye hands, and they're like they're like these greasy lathes and stuff, but they're what is coming out is all this amazing lace. And
there's a paradox because the machines are so huge, so heavy and gritty and noisy, but they produce some of the most delicate textural lace, beautiful in the world.
And you'd never know who's behind it.
Pardon?
You'd never know who's behind it. It's like all these gritty guys that are just like Joe Schmo, and they go home to their wife and they just want to grab their check on Friday and go out for beer. But little do they know, well, they do know, but they're producing amazing lace that's going into like high-end wedding dresses, right? I mean, what else is it used for?
Oh, it's high fashion. Talbots, J. Crew. In fact, I just heard today J. Crew filed for bankruptcy, so that's not good. J. Crew and some high-end fashion designers in New York and France use them.
Wow.
Did at the time, yeah. Because they would produce small batches of really intricate, delicate lace.
Bill says, wow, that's horrible. One more manufacturer gone. So they are gone as a... I didn't know that.
Well, there's nobody's going to order anything right now because nobody's going to shop for clothes except for on the internet, and they're not... I don't think anybody's looking for lace. Their heyday, from when I went into the place in 2011, and they started getting more business when Game of Thrones and Downton Abbey were going, because I think that affected the fashion industry.
Wow, everything affects one another. Emily, your daughter, says, that's so sad about Lever's lace, Dad. She's trying to talk to you through a live feed through the comment section. How sad is that? You know, Emily, you probably have your dad's number. Just call him. He probably misses you. Look, you know, you deserve to have this flash a couple times, okay? Call your dad. He misses you.
Call Dad.
Call dad. So you were at the Pentagon just after 9/11. You got to tell us that story. I know you've got a lot of stories. Go for it.
I was there actually beforehand because General Dynamics had done a project called PenRen, Pentagon Renovation, and they went in and they emptied out, ironically, or just by coincidence, I guess, the section that got hit by the plane. They emptied that out, and they put Kevlar in the walls. They put bulletproof windows in. They were just modernizing the building, and they were doing a lot of high-tech stuff to upgrade the whole electronic and computer systems. So when the plane hit, that wing was basically empty. They were going to have the ribbon cutting the following Monday. So everybody was moved out and waiting. And when I was there, everybody had a story. I was talking to one guy who told me that there was a lieutenant colonel who was supposed to have a meeting, and when he went into the room he was in, somebody who outranked him told him to go find someplace else. So we went into the room that was empty, which of course was the renovated area, and he was having a class with 5 or 6 other students, and the plane hit nearby, but because the plane was full of fuel and it combusted so quickly, they were all incinerated and charred instantly. So when they went in the room finally, the lieutenant colonel was sitting on the edge of the desk, still there, dead and charred, with 5 or 6 students sitting in their chairs looking at him. And that was, the guy was telling me he sees it every night. He closes his eyes to go to bed, and it was still there. There's just tons of, one guy was telling me he was out having a cigarette. He heard a noise that got louder and louder and louder, and he was walking back after having his smoke. So he dove to the ground and looked over his shoulder and saw the plane go in. So the body count was actually low because so many people weren't there. It was almost empty. It was mostly the plane, people on the plane, and some peripheral employees, but we were lucky. It was an interesting experience. I haven't ever released the pictures. I'm hoping to do that in 21. It'll be 20 years.
Yeah.
Because of course, now the quality is not that good because it was a long time ago, and I don't know what I have, a 4 megapixel camera probably, but it was, life changing.
Yeah. I just lost your feed just for a second. You said you had a 4 megapixel camera then, and what did you say right after that?
I think it was life changing. It was very moving.
Has it affected you to this day as a photographer?
Yeah, I think so. When I went to shoot there, I was shooting during the daytime, and the area that I was in had a lot of brightness around it. Of course, the sky was very bright, and it didn't do it much good, and I noticed there were lights all around. So I asked to come back at night, and I thought it would be a lot more interesting and graphic and dramatic. And they said no. So I asked to see the person who was our liaison. I asked to see his boss, and I went up 6 or 7 people, and I finally made a strong enough argument. And they said, yeah, okay, come back at night. And those images, to honor those people, I think are stronger and more interesting images.
You showed me those. I had the privilege to see those, and it's sad. It's just really sad seeing those images.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love for you to get those images out there. That's history. You're part of history. I never thought of that. Photographers, just like a president or, diplomats, people who make laws, bills, radicals who change things. Photographers are right in the middle of all that. Not even the media just reports on it. They got a microphone. They're just grabbing what you say and it's recorded. But you're different. Photographers are capturing a moment that it's amazing. Those photos of the 9/11 at night at the Pentagon were beautiful but scary. It's good stuff, my friend.
As a commercial shooter, you're always trying to reach for some sort of emotional response to the work. And even if it's a guy at a machine manufacturing, you want to show his commitment to what he's doing the same as if it's a PhD scientist trying to solve the corona epidemic.
Hmm.
That's the fun part, the trick to find that hook in what you're doing and see if you can display that to other people. Because a lot of times from the business perspective as a commercial shooter, first off, you might not get a lot of information from the people who want you there. They just told they need pictures for their website. So there's a process you try to go to as you discuss and learn what they do and why they do it to figure out the best approach. And then when you go after that, because most of the people are going to tell you their biggest asset are their people. So you try to highlight that and how they work, and also their intent, because the way they work is more important than what they do. I mean, to show somebody working at a machine is a snapshot. To show somebody who's committed and enthralled and completely absorbed by what they're doing, that's a picture.
Yeah, you talk a lot about intent. So, and when you said that, I was like, wow, you could show a machine and how it works and put that on a website or marketing material, and that's okay. But showing a person working on the machine and how you capture like the detail of how they're really into it shows so much more about how the company has hired that really, really good guy to run that machine. And
Right, because
I was just blown away when you said that. The intent in the photo is more important.
Because what you're really talking about, to me, it's an inferred message. So you're not saying, here's the machine. You're saying, here's my people who are so good, they're so dedicated, they're so focused, they're so tuned in to what they do that the subconscious message is you're going to get a good product. We care about you.
Right.
We don't just make stuff, but we're dedicated to making great stuff.
Yes, exactly. So anyone who's doubting, like, oh, I can just use my iPhone camera. Well, yeah, you could take pictures, but you need someone who's grabbing the intent. You tell a story. You're like a photographic communicator. That's a new language. I mean, there's French, English, Spanish, there's all these languages, but you speak the language of capturing an image of someone that is really into their work, which pretty much raises the level of what that business is all about. Because they've hired that guy.
You know yourself too, because as a guy who does marketing and website building, and you're trying to deliver a message about how important what they do is to other people, that people bring you cell phone pictures, and you've got 7 seconds to keep their attention, and that's the hard news to deliver to your client is you're going to lose the people you've just spent so much time, energy, and money to get.
Right. Ronia Pagaro. Hey, Ronia. She says, hi, guys. She's waving.
Hi, Ronia.
Is Ronia are you in Puerto Rico or are you back in Rhode Island? I think you might have come back to Rhode Island. Sal Socco says, Steve Mason for president 2020. Steve, when are you going to run?
I'm not going to make any political comments.
Drink a little more wine. We'll get the truth out. Scotch. Hey, let's do a virtual clink. It's time for the virtual clink. Ready? I got to go this way. So, all right, ready? Now pull it back to your face. Closer to your face. There we go. A little further out. Right there. Ready? On the count of 3, go to the center. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you went the wrong way. 1. Put it in your other hand. We got to do this right. I'm gonna make a gag reel down the road. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go in. Clink. All right, you did it. All right. It wasn't great, but
we're not seeing each other's screen the same way they are.
I'll tell you, it is hard to do a virtual clink. It's hard. Ronia, it's great to see you. That's so cool. Do you remember Steve, do you remember your very first camera?
I do.
And please don't tell me it was a Brownie, was it?
No. Actually, I had an original Brownie in a box, but I'll get to that in a second. My first camera was 50 cents and 50 Bazooka Bubblegum comics. Sent it in and got it and just ran around shooting kids playing, off my friends playing and stuff.
Yeah.
Buy it. Yeah, it was fun. Crappy camera. Light leaks all over the place, and it would jam.
but you didn't care.
Yeah, you didn't
It
care.
was the fun also sending stuff out and getting it back.
Yeah. So Aaron
Every-
Usher. Yeah, you have to wait for it to come back. Aaron Usher says visual communicator is a great. Oh, what did he say? It just went off. Visual communicator is a great descriptor. Steve is a master at that. And Ronia says Steve Mason was the man behind one of my best web works. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
That's a testimonial. Yeah, I'll live with that. His photography really made the site. And Bill Palmentier says comedy gold. Nice. I like
Talking
that.
about the link.
So you had to send away. You had to get the photos, and you had to send away and wait like a few weeks for the stuff to come back. You must have been like
I don't think
sweating, waiting for it to come back.
it was fun. Yeah, the expectation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like by doing good pictures. It was more like bringing them out and showing them to your friends. This trying to decide to do good pictures that came much later.
But
when I
even
got
at
more
that,
serious.
but even at that point, Steve, did you know that you were a photographer, or were you just like, it's
Well,
just a camera?
Here's the interesting thing. My dad worked in the post office for 35 years, and then he quit and got his master's in library science. He was a librarian in North Attleboro, and he was always looking at all four of us to see what we might become. So when I showed any interest in anything, he would try to nurture that. So we brought home books by the famous photographers at the time, which primarily were FSA guys, Farm Security Administration, the guys who shot the pictures during the Depression, the guys who built the Hoover Dam and all those kinds of things, those great 30s and 40s, 50s pictures.
Right.
And those were an influence. Those books were, because it was all, not only that, but it was the story of all these wartime photographers and these risk takers. They were adventurers as well as anything else. And a lot of them also changed society. There was a guy who took pictures locally in Rhode Island, Lewis Hine, and he took pictures in the mill of the kids. I'm talking 5, 6, 7-year-old kids working in the mill, and that got the labor laws changed. So, and there's a lot more photographers who did stuff like that. But these people had an effect on society, so they were kind of not gods, but they made change.